a brand new day.
I'm so glad that you came. All these bad bitches getting slain. Broke ass nigga get a clue. All these niggas know how we do.
Let's go.
I broke
Conspiracy theories.
Oh my god! My mom keeps having this dream where she goes to the bathroom at night and there's a guy standing outside.
That's so weird.
No, he's holding a puppy and he goes, "Let me in." And she's had it like 4 times.
Okay, so first we're gonna start off with the 27 Club. This is just the idea that something weird happens to popular musicians. Apparently they all died at 27 years old from like natural causes or drug overdoses or suicide. So I have the list. So it's Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse. So the theory is that these people are selling their soul to the devil for fame. There's also this video that was released of Bob Dylan, and he's literally talking about selling his soul to the devil for fame, and he calls the devil Chief.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
What? Did you guys see that?
He's not like straight up saying, "Oh, I sold my soul to the devil."
No.
He's going like, "Oh, the chief, you know."
The chief.
And I'm
basically the theory is that all of those people sold their soul to the devil for fame, and he was like, okay, well, the price is I'm gonna come and take it from you in 10 years. So let's say they all decided to sell their soul to the devil at 17. They would start to get famous, and they would get super famous, and then he would take their soul at 27.
I'm gonna talk about time travel. So I'm just gonna like show y'all some pictures that literally proves time travel is real. So the first picture I was gonna show you guys is this woman. It was taken in 1938, and she's literally holding a cell phone. Like there's literally a cell phone in her hand. And not only is she holding a cell phone, it's like up to her ear, and then she like has it in her hand. She's smiling at the camera, and then it's back up to her ear. You know, some of those cell phone pictures, they look really photoshopped. But the reason I don't think it's photoshopped for this particular one is because it's not like an obvious picture of a cell phone where you see all the buttons. It's just like a black device. 1938, there was no portable. Hello, Janet, how you doing? This next one, literally, these are pictures of a United States nickel. Looks normal, you know, it's got the dude on it. I actually don't know who it is. It says, "In God We Trust." There's one picture that shows the front, one shows the back. The friggin' nickel says 2067. Explain. It's compared to a 2012 nickel, exactly the same, except this 2012 nickel, obviously it's pretty new. It looks new. This 2067 nickel looks used, like someone had this shit in their pocket, time traveled, and then they were like, achoo! Oh shit, there goes my nickel, I don't need it.
Why did they have why would that happen?
This one's extra weird. So, at a cathedral in the Spanish city Salamanca. This was built in 1102. So the entire cathedral is covered in these like magnificent detailed carvings, and they're all pretty cool. It's like flowers and shit. And then all of a sudden, there's this picture. That's a friggin' astronaut. There's no doubt about it. And he's a fully dressed astronaut with his headpiece, his full suit. Like, it literally looks. Here, let's pop in what an astronaut looks like today. That's the same thing. Anyway, so time travel's real. Those were just a few examples. There's a lot online. I literally think you should do your own research. Mina and I have been trying to tell y'all this whole time we will build a time machine.
I've been working on it since like last year.
Not kidding.
Mina
You sat down, wrote half a friggin' chapter book in a notebook on all this research on science
Okay, so
stuff.
basically the idea is that the reason we can't, I know we're time traveling today, but the reason we can't time travel today is because we don't know how to break was it the third dimension or the fourth? The fourth dimension. Because we didn't know how to break the fourth dimension. So basically that's the issue, is the fourth dimension is time, right? Or the fourth dimension is like the platform in which time lays on. It's really weird.
It's really complicated.
It's really difficult to understand. So I spent like hours literally sitting there trying to plot out what time looks like. I came up with the idea of like, when does time not exist? So time doesn't exist when you're sleeping. So when you're sleeping, you have no perception of time, right? Because it could be like 30 minutes in
You
your
have to do
dream. It's like 30 minutes in your dream, but it's actually like 7 hours in real life. So my idea was that we find time travel through dreams, but then it just got a little confusing.
Sleep paralysis.
I needed more science. So next we're gonna move on to Sir Francis Drake. So this is one of my favorite conspiracy theories, and it's because nobody knows it. Literally nobody knows this conspiracy. Sir Francis Drake was an explorer from England, and he was given a task by Queen Elizabeth I to travel the globe and document his voyage. He set out in 1578. So a man named Bwalf, and I'm sorry if I'm messing this up, it's Bawlf. You can look it up. His name is Bwalf. He was a cabinet minister in 1975. He spent months analyzing graphs and analyzing Sir Francis Drake's maritime records, and he discovered that there were 7 months missing, like not accounted for in Sir Francis Drake's journals. So this dude documented everything except for 7 months. So he just keep in mind, he traveled for like 3 years documenting everything except this missing 7 random months. This dude came to the conclusion that Sir Francis Drake had actually traveled by Alaska, what is now Alaska, then went down towards California, wrapped around Georgia.
Oh, he came from Asia?
Yes, wrapped around Georgia. It took 7 months to run through all of that. What was he doing? It didn't take 7 months to go from Alaska to Georgia. Nice try. A lot of the conspiracy theories are that those 7 months that he was missing, where he was traveling that coastline, was that he actually discovered something weird, something strange, something that he didn't want anyone else to find out about. And he erased it from all of his journals, from all of his documents, and went back to Queen Elizabeth and was like, yeah, everything was fine, like it was cool. Naughty Dog came out with this, and this is a video game called Uncharted. It's a video game where you play as a dude named Nathan, and he is apparently a descendant of Sir Francis Drake. So basically the entire video game is you playing Nathan, and he's hunting this treasure that Sir Francis Drake pointed hints to in his journals. Nathan finds the treasure, and it turns out to be like you touch it and it kills you. So maybe that's like somewhat of the truth, and Sir Francis Drake found something like that and left it there because he was terrified of anyone in England or anyone in Europe knowing about this. So now we're gonna move on to our last conspiracy.
Okay, y'all.
This is the craziest one, and this is one of my other favorites because it blows my mind.
So get ready. So this theory is called the Hollow Earth theory, and it is a theory that we think that NASA and the world governments are literally hiding a passageway in the North Pole that leads into an inner Earth, or the center of the Earth, where there's believed to be an entire civilization. So the first little piece I'm going to talk about is this Admiral Richard E. Byrd, and he was a polar explorer that kept a really detailed journal of all of his explorations, all of his discoveries, and he was exploring the North Pole, and this boy friggin' wrote down his findings when he traveled 1,700 miles into the hole, where he described vegetation, lakes, civilization, mammoth-like creatures, and other monster-like creatures. So this man named John Sims, he actually published a pamphlet, and I'm gonna look down for a minute because I'm gonna read word for word what he said in it. He described like some science behind it. So this is what he wrote. Quote, "I declare that the earth is hollow and habitable within, containing a number of solid concentric spheres, one within the other, and that it is open at the poles 12 or 16 degrees. In the year 985, current era or after death or whatever you want to say, there was a Viking colony established by Eric the Red in Greenland, and this colony was thriving for centuries. It was great, and then Europe went to okay, like the plague and all that, and they lost contact with this colony. And then when Greenland was rediscovered, or when contact was like remade, well, I guess there was no contact because, you know, the colony was gone. Not only was the colony gone, there were remains, but not of their bodies, of like their stuff, like clothing, belongings, things, and some livestock. There's evidence of them migrating north, but then they just disappear. So in the early 1900s, there was Lieutenant Green, who was he was part of the U.S. Navy. He decided, oh, I'm gonna try to figure out what actually happened. So he kind of looked into some Eskimo traditions to see if they had any stories about this Viking colony, or if they had any stories about this inner earth or whatever. Y'all, the Eskimos say that this colony, yeah, they did migrate north and they found paradise in the north. They found paradise in the north. Okay. And the Eskimos say that they've always known that this passageway existed, but they would never go to it because they were afraid and they believed that evil spirits lived there. So not only do the Eskimos know that the Viking colony disappeared to Middle Earth, and now they're living in the middle of the earth. Because there's a middle of the earth. It's hollow. There's people there.
There are a lot of more recent pieces of evidence that are mind-blowing. So if you look up the exact coordinates of where this supposed like hole in the earth is at, if you look it up on Google Maps, it's not there. Like Google Maps took a block, a literal block, a blurred block, and put it over where the hole would be. Like you can't, it's like a blur. What are y'all hiding there? Out of all these conspiracy theories, I believe that one more than like anything.
Well, there's a
time travel, I believe in time travel. I believe in all of them. All of them are real, honestly.
Yeah, dude, no. Mina and I are a little crazy. We believe everything. So anyway, those are some conspiracy theories that got Mina and I all kinds of messed up. So we just wanted to try to mess you guys up. I don't know if it did it or if we're just crying by ourselves over here. We're done. Bye.
Dude, do you hate yourself for saying that?
Yeah, I kind of want to go. Bye. Nice juice you got.
Yo, I said ass, I can't do that. Where's your record?
You corrupt Cheeto.
Clickbait.
Bobby is such a boob.
One foot in 180 twist and then a zigzag. That's right.
Table. Screen.
TV table. It's all red because I was just smacking it.
And you know, there could still be Nazis just chilling, living a good ass life with some mammoths, drinking a friggin' inner earth martini. You right.
Bob Dylan pie sauce.
Make friends with this mammoth. Nice to meet you, mammoth.
What are you shaking?
The mammoth's hand.
The mammoth's hand?
Damn it, Paul
Dylan.
The mail's here.
Hey guys! Woo!
We're back.
Yeah.
And they carved him. They were like, Jimmy was real cool. Where the fuck did he go?
Jimmy's gone.
I'm thinking of Henry.
You say
The price of my wars. Nothing. We were singing the different ones.
two different songs.
Like an acorn. Look at my head. Hi, my name's Acorn. New to the school.
New to the school?